sweating, it's hot. Not looking forward to summer. What's up, internet? Current 1776 here in the woods, sweating a little bit. It's hot today. Summer's coming, man. Summer's coming down here in the south in Georgia. Yeehaw. But I want to continue on with the tarp shelter series. So in this video, I'm going to show you three basic tarp setups. Three basic tarp setups that you can do with pretty much any tarp out there, including the basic A-frame, lean-to, and lean-to with a porch. So let's jump into the video, shall we? All right, so the first shelter I'm going to show you guys is a basic lean-to. This is very basic, very quick and easy to set up. If you set it up high, like I'm going to show you here, I've got my ridge line a good bit above my head. It gives you some headroom so you can stand up just inside the shelter. But very basic. All you need is a ridge line, some pegs. You can have your own pegs, or you can make pegs out of sticks in the woods. And of course, you need your tarp. So again, I've got my ridge line. It's a good bit above my head here. And we're going to deploy the top. The top holding. So with the basic lean-to, we're going to go to our corners. Got my corner here. I'm just going to use same technique with the toggle into my prusik knot. Tie one corner to that and go to the other side and do the same thing. Then again, as I said in the past, the plus of using a continuous ridge line with the prusiks is you can very efficiently tighten that guy up and center it. So now, of course, all we got to do is pull it out at the angle that we want and stake out the back. So here we have our basic lean-to. I can stand under it. Of course, you can make this lower and get the angle further back if you want. And of course, you can attach to the center tie-outs, pull this out, and get yourself a little bit more room in the back. So very, very basic, folks, and can be done with literally any size tarp. Of course, the size of the tarp is going to dictate how high you can go, how far back you can go. So the advantages of a shelter like this: one, quick, easy, simple to set up, and can be set up with pretty much any type of tarp. It's great for the summertime or in hot conditions because it offers plenty of ventilation. Obviously, if you have a fire or something out in front, you don't have to worry about getting smoked out or anything like that inside this type of shelter system because there's plenty of ventilation. So great for a quick, simple solution, right? Shade, blocking wind, light rain. In a heavy rain situation, probably not the best tarp. So that is a downfall of this tarp. And also, you don't get a lot of protection from the sides because it's wide open. But basic shelter, the lean-to. So what do you do in a situation where you want a little bit more protection but still want to keep it simple, stupid as a lean-to? You can do a lean-to in porch mode or a lean-to with an awning. So I'm going to show you how to quickly do that. First step, you got to lower your ridge line because you don't have enough material, right, to do this. So first, we're going to lower our ridge line. All right, so all I did was lower the ridge line. So now we need to readjust the tarp. But I just want to clarify a little something here. If you wanted to, you could just tighten this tarp back up by moving your pegs back, and it'll offer you the ability to get up under further to help in a rainy situation. But obviously you don't have the headroom, right? So, but we're going to set this up for a porch mode lean-to. So we're just going to reposition the tarp and make that happen. The first step in this is obviously remove your rear peg because this is going to get shortened up. All right, so I've removed my toggles and my corner pieces for my prusik knots, and I've got the tarp in half over the ridge line. So Right here is my middle tie out, so I know that's the center of my tarp. I'm going to find the one on the side that matches that guy. It should be this one. I'm going to reattach it to my presser. Do the same over here on this side. Very basic tarp shelter setup here, obviously. All right, so ridge line is under the tarp, tarp's half over, and I'm tied out to my center tie outs. So now I'm just gonna take this back side again, get it at an angle and stake it out. And also, if you can tell, my prevailing wind is coming to the back of my shelter. That's what I want, okay? I don't want the wind coming directly into my shelter. So coming in from the back or from the sides diagonally or something like that would be preferred. So I'm just going to stake these corners out nice and tight. We'll put one in the middle as well, just for good measure. Okay, so I have the back at an angle. I have it staked out. And now I'm going to affix the front straight out like this to give us our porch mode. So there's a couple ways you could do this. You can look for sticks out in the woods to do that, or you can use trekking poles, extendable trekking poles like these. These are just some cheap trekking poles that I picked up at a local sporting goods store. There's very expensive ones out there. You do you on that, but these are pretty nice basic trekking poles that work great for shelter setup. So we're going to attach these on the corners, stake them out, and create our porch. So I already have some guy lines that I made affixed to my corners. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. In this case, we're going to use it. So simply bring it out, take my loop, put it over the trekking pole. Then I can just make a loop to go over just to secure it in there really well, like so. And there's our support for the porch. And I'm just going to simply stake this out. There's tons of knots that you can do for your stakes. I like to do just a very simple marline spike hitch. It's quick and easy, holds tight, no big deal. You can do a taut line hitch, whatever you want to do. Stake that out. And of course, as always, do the same on the other side. So there you go, basic lean-to in porch mode with an awning out front using trekking poles, or of course you can make you some poles out of sticks and whatnot out in the woods, or tie off to a tree if there's a tree nearby or something like that. So very cool. So, wow, that is very leaned over. So the pluses of this shelter, again, very easy to set up, very quick to set up, offers great protection now from rain. If it's not extremely windy, you know, if you got sideways rain or something like that, maybe this wouldn't be the best choice. But plenty of room to put your gear, plenty of room to sit, pretty good headroom if you're sitting down. Just a great shelter. Does really good if you have a fire out in front of you for reflecting heat back into you. Still offers plenty of ventilation, and just a great quick way to go out into the woods, put yourself up a shelter, be in the shade, have ventilation, and a good view out in front of you and off to both sides. But what if it gets really ugly really quick? All right, so in the situation where you're crooked. All right, so let's say you're in this type of shelter. It gets extremely windy, the wind direction changes, and you need to do something different. There's a storm coming or a storm has hit. With this setup, you're really ready to go to another setup without really changing anything, nothing to your ridge line. You've already got pegs out if you're using sticks, you're not tied off to a tree, so you really got everything you need here. All you gotta do is remove these poles. And it's just as simple as staking out corners again. and set up an A-frame shelter. And that quick and easy, you are set up with a traditional A-frame shelter. Obviously, the A-frame shelter has been used for years and years and years and years and years. It's a proven design, quick, easy to set up, offers you protection from both sides here with the wind, and it offers the ability to still have some room to put your gear in here to help keep it dry. Disadvantages, you don't have a ground sheet, so you would have to provide that. Same with the other two shelters. There's no ground protection, but in a quick, hasty situation, this will do just fine. Driving, wind, rain, keep the weather off of you and keep your gear dry. Plenty of room to lay down in here. Again, this is a 3x3 tarp, so it's just barely shy of 10 foot squared, so plenty of room. You can even, if need be, you can stake out at the next corners here, and you can close off the ends like doors if need be. Really cool, quick, easy way to get out of the weather using a tarp for a shelter. And then of course, when the storm passes, you can open it back up into porch mode and have a nice ventilated view of the woods where you're hanging out. So there you go, 3 basic tarp shelters. Any tarp out there should be able to do these 3 basic tarp shelters. Very, very good shelters. They have their pros and cons just like every shelter does, but get out in the woods, add these 3 to your skill set, practice them, and when you get a chance to use them, you'll know, right? So that's the end of this video in the tarp series. We've got plenty more coming, so be sure to be on the lookout. One way that it can help you with that is hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon down below so you'll be notified when more videos are posted. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you with the next video in this series of tarp shelters. Yeehaw. I'm gonna go drink me some water because it's hot. I'm sweating. I'm gonna open that thing back up into porch mode because it's hot. Yeehaw.